Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm probably going to have to scrap this because, as you can tell, I talk really quick and I move my hands. I'm Italian, so this isn't going to work. You guys can pretty much hear me now because I'm going to walk around pretty much and talk. You guys with this? You guys okay with this? All right.
Are you type B?
We are good. Yeah, absolutely. Type B minus. I think I moved into the C category. First of all, I'd like to start off. You might have flipped the second page and realized in your handout, that's not the guy on here. That guy's clean shaven. He doesn't have that ugly looking beard on his face. Well, let me explain a little bit and kind of tell you a little bit who I am from that point. I made a goal with myself, thinking that I would achieve it much sooner than I thought I'd achieve it. And my wife happens to be in the room. She doesn't get to attend many speaking things, but she happens to be here, and she might tell you the same thing. I told myself I would not shave until I reached that goal, thinking I'd have some stubble by week 1, maybe by week 2. I'd have a little bit more stubble. I'm about 2 days from Duck Dynasty right now, so I'm there. It's next week. But and the one thing I'm going to talk about, the whole different thing is I could have shaved this and said it's ugly, my kids won't kiss me, and my wife won't come near me. Right? I could have done that, just like you all could have done, like we do most of the time with our goals, but I wouldn't do it because it's with myself. And why I had to change it up a little bit is I've got to look at this in the mirror every day. So you talk about accountability to yourself. I got to look at this ugly mug every day. So every day I have to think what I'm going to do today so I can get this off my face so my kids will come near me and my wife will kiss me. Right? So that tells you that's the first thing on the beard. The second part is being in this industry for about 28 years, almost 29 years, my job's been to get people to do what they don't want to do to help them achieve what they want to achieve. Let me say that again. Get people to do what they don't want to do to help them achieve what they want to achieve. Anybody believe that's difficult? 2 of you. This is really going to go well. This is a small group, guys. There's no screens or microphones here. I'm going to have fun with you or without you. It is difficult. Anybody have kids in here? Yeah. Okay, you do. Every day, or before, or grandchildren, you are trying to get someone to do what they don't want to do to help them achieve what they want to achieve. Do you not? Okay, I've got a 9-year-old, and I have an 8-year-old and a 1-year-old. Okay? Yeah, yikes. Thank you for the yikes. But why I'm saying that is I had homework last night. 15 minutes of homework that took about an hour and a half. Anybody ever experienced that? Okay? My job is to get people to do what they don't want to do to help them achieve what they want to achieve. So my job in sales, as I coach multiple salespeople, is to do that. It's a difficult job. Get people to get outside their box, prospect, lead generate. Do things that it doesn't come natural for most of the people in sales. I had a whole table of A's, maybe an identity crisis in the BA-BC syndrome. But every day you have those A-tier personalities. They say, like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to have it, it's easy to do. But without the accountability to do so, it's difficult. So I know your time is limited today. I'm going to give you value very quick because I even have a longer thing here that I have to take a whole day workshop into about, I'm going to talk fast, about 40 minutes if I can get it done. I'll skip around on stuff. Even in your handouts, I might skip around on that. So just bear with me because I know when I was invited here, if I don't bring enough value in about this much time, you're going to tune out. You're going to go, wow, what's for dessert? Is there any more coffee over here? What's happening? No, it's going to be different. You're not going to care what I'm going to say. So the first thing I want you to do is open your mind a little bit and let me explain this. It's going to require some change, right? Change equals stress and uncertainty, does it not? But it's necessary for any of us to change in our life to a higher level. Change equals stress and uncertainty, but is necessary. And why I'm saying that, if you don't believe me, I could do this just as well as you should. Think of the biggest change that happened in your life. One of the biggest changes could be death, could be loss of a family member, could be loss of a house, loss of income, divorce, something that's happened, and unfortunately it's usually negative, right? You think of that biggest change and you go, wow, but I get to coach multiple people. And someone I do coach, husband was diagnosed with brain cancer. Pretty bad. And I was talking to her, trying to get her emotions out 6 months after. He is fine, and he goes every 6 months or 4 months to get checked up. But she said one thing right after it happened, 4 months, said, I am who I am because that happened. I'm a better person today. Work doesn't matter anymore. My family's more important. If any of you think about the biggest change that happened in your life, you're who you are today because of that change that happened in your life. Am I right? I'm right. So change does equal stress and uncertainty, but you have to realize it's going to be necessary. The problem is sometimes change is forced upon us. I've been in this industry a long time. When I started, I had a pager. I heard someone up there who had a pager too. Some of you don't know what a pager is. Okay, what happens is someone calls you. It's not on a smartphone, or they don't text you. They call you on this thing, and it goes beep, 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 and then you have to pull over to a payphone. And if I was able to if I had a dime in my car at that time, I was able to call the person to listen to a voicemail, because I had one of the expensive ones, a voicemail of someone saying, call me. And I'd be able to get back to someone in probably about 45 minutes or an hour, and I was killing it. You'll get back to me in an hour? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine that today? No, you guys text right now and you go, really? 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 What's going on? Why are they not texting back? Why can't I get a hold of you? Why aren't you picking up your phone right now? That change happened to us, right? You couldn't do business that way. Anybody have a different TV than they had? When I was young, my TV had velvet on both sides. I don't know if I'm dating myself here. Had velvet on both sides. Played records on one side, 45s, right? Right, exactly. And just in case you didn't know, ours was really cool. Our family had a remote control. So if you jingle your keys, the TV would change. Because that's what it was. It was like a jingling sound that made the TV change. I don't know how it happened, but that happened. Now, what are TVs like? That change happened to us. We didn't have it happen. It just happened to us. It's thrust upon us. Now you turn on the TV, someone comes out, does a dance, hops back in the TV. That's about what we're to. It's like 3D TV. I'll even date myself worse. When I first started, guess what? You know how you find out what properties were listed? You get a book that was delivered to your office once a week with a fuzzy picture to say, these are the houses that are listed. Anybody else? Yes. And then you'd have to call 4 days later and say, is the property still available? Okay, I'm going to go show it. By the time you get there, it's sold, whatever the case might be. Those changes happen. In our life, those changes happen. And those were necessary for us to be who we are today. Now, there's phases of change. As I'm going to talk today, you're going to think about things. And as I'm going to talk, some of you are going to hit home. Some might not hit home. But if I could catch one thing because someone's at the right time today, I've done everything I could for the short period of time I've had with you today. So just open your mind a little bit. As change comes, there's obviously phases of change. You go through the denials phase first, right? No, 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 I'm not changing. No, 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 forget it. Anybody else? When my wife tells me something's going to change, she put a new couch in, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Am I right? Jesus, so couch? You got to be kidding. My couch is fine, right? You go through the denial stage. And then you go through the anger stage, which is the next stage. Then you start fighting about it. No, 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 we don't need it. What's this? That's money. Let's forget it. It's not going to happen, right? Then you go through the next stage, which we all do, and most of us get stuck in, especially our government right now, is the blame stage, right? It's not my fault this happened. It's someone else's fault. It's not my fault that this happened. It's the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's House Republic's fault. It's Washington Mutual's fault. No, it's Goldman Sachs' fault. It's all these people's fault. The blame's over. We have to start on the repair. In our industry, we had a hell of a party, right? Now, the last 4 years ago was probably the hangover. Then 2 years ago was the throwing up stage, okay, of the hangover, right? Now we're at the cleanup stage where you're picking up solo cups, right? Going, okay, geez, it's a hell of a party, man. Still paying for it a little bit, but that's the case. That's what we had. You go through that blame stage where you continually blame everybody for something else. And it's easy because when you're blaming other people, guess whose fault it isn't? It's never yours. How can it be someone else's fault if it's never your fault, right? It's always. The reason why I got a speeding ticket is because you didn't have your dress on quick enough, and I wouldn't have to go 90 miles an hour. We wouldn't be late if you would get dressed on time, right?
Well, that is right.
That's pretty much right. Yeah. You get stuck in the blame stage. And this is where most of us get caught when I'm talking about the phases of change. The last phase of change is acceptance. Okay? It's rare that people get to the acceptance stage where they just accept it and move on because that's how it's going to be. So today as I'm going to talk about things, there's going to be things that change, which I wish I had. Anybody see Men in Black? Okay, this is participating because most of you have, right? I wish I had one of them, zappers, know those zappers? I would like to zap every last one of you in here. And the reason why is because we hold on for so much that happened in the past. Listen, you being a Centurion agent in 1986 was awesome. That was 1986. You cannot be addicted to the past. That plaque you have for being the Circle of Excellence from 2001 is fabulous. You were great in 2001. The market's different, is it not? Yes. So I wish I had that little zapper because as adults, this is a tough one. We all say we want to learn. Learn, I'm a sponge, I'm in sales. I want to learn, 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 learn. And then when you come to things like this, you lack the willingness to be taught. Because if I do these, and someone's been in the business, anybody in the business over 20 years in here? 25 years as a realtor? If I had to come to you right now, Deborah, right? Well, you're loans. It's okay, loans, okay. If you're doing loans, correct? If I'm going to teach you today how to take a 1003. You're going to go, you're laughing. You're going to teach me anything. Come on, really? This guy's going to teach me to do what I've been doing for 30 years? No way. Right? How about today you just think about a different way to get better results in your life? I don't want to teach you anything, because everybody says we get adults, we lack the willingness to learn. So I'm just going to give you a different way, maybe to get quick results in your life, have better relationships. When you ask me to do something on change your image, change your game, that's a difficult one. Because I'd have to talk to every one of you in here about your image, because everybody has a different image about themselves, right? But what I have to do is go with a broad stroke and figure out what image it is and the things in your image that can change. I'm going to go quick on a quick story because I don't want to go too far into it. He actually brought up some things. I got in the business in '86, and in '86, I I worked my way up the ladder, became a vice president, became actually an owner of a company. That company merged with the American Home Mortgage in 1999. So we took, in 1999 to 2007, we took a company, the 9th largest lender in the United States. I was the man. That's right. I was it. You got to be kidding. I do these with all my people. I was loved, everybody there. And I forgot to realize one thing. It wasn't me. It was the market, man. There's no doubt how good I was. I could have been a moron and still made money, right? But no, my ego took it to there 2007. July of 2007, guess what? Anybody see Chernobyl on the news from Russia years ago? And it went, ha-ba-boom! Everything gone, right? 2,200 people out of a job one day, bam! Looking at me going, what are we doing now? Now what are we doing? Now what are we doing? Me going, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. What do I think you're going to do? Right? So from that, took 1,700 employees to a bank. 1,700 employees took it to a bank saying, okay, this market stuff is crazy, so we'll go to a bank where they've got their own money, where there's depositors. Well, 12 months after that, the FDIC said, you really don't have enough money. That's okay. So that, boom, gone. What would be my self-image at that time? Not only do I have people's trusting in me, 2,200 people, another 1,700 people trusting in me to bring them to the place. Now they're out of a job again. 2 days. Run on the bank. Looked like it's a wonderful life. People knocking on the door, give me my money. Right? It was horrible. That's it. Everybody has a story. I'm just kind of telling you exactly why my image has changed and why I'm able to speak about what I'm talking about today.